So my name is Christopher Moot. I am the CEO and co-founder of Paper Culture. We've been at it for, about 2 years now, and so we still consider ourselves the new kid on the block. But it's been a fantastic journey through really what set out as a very personal journey for us, and the co-founders building a company that we really wanted to build after having built a lot of companies that other people wanted to build. We decided this was our chance to build a company that we were excited about, both from a design perspective and a mission perspective. And so it's been going on for about 2 years now.
That's great. Tell me a little bit more about it being a personal journey for you.
Sure. So I am a proud father of a 3-year-old daughter who is quite the, we call her the little devil, which her mom says comes after me and not her. And I think my parents would agree. But when we first started out, I had been in the printing industry for some time, both at HP and also at Snapfish. And so my wife, who otherwise runs all good things in the household, said, your one duty, I'm giving birth, I am taking care of the house. And by the way, she's the only income maker as well. As an entrepreneur, that's not my forte right now. And she said, your one job is to go and get the birth announcements. Of course, my job is not really my job, because she had a spec list that went with that, and she said, I want 100% recycled, I want super premium, I don't want to be embarrassed. You have to give us a birth announcement that we're proud of. And we have a very modern design aesthetic. If you come into our house, we love modern furniture. It's sort of our sinful indulgence. And so we had a very specific style that we were looking for. And when I went out and looked around and looked, this is a space I knew. My job at HP was to know these players. We simply couldn't find what we wanted in this space. The combination, there was environmentally friendly, there was modern design, there was a service that we liked, but there wasn't all three. And so really it came out of a personal need to go find the ultimate product that delivered a modern design voice in an eco-friendly package, and with services as the lazy dad that the last thing in the world I wanted to do was address all of those birth announcements. And so I added in the criteria where, hey, I want someone that will actually address and mail them for me. And that actually became one of the first services now that we are something that we are known for. It's called our mail and message service, where we will stamp, address, and mail cards for people. And that's what we call that.
That's phenomenal. And when you had the stamp and address service, as I remember, the cost of that is about the cost of a first-class stamp.
About the, so for our mail and message service, it's not just about the cost of the stamp, it literally is the cost of the stamp. So it's a free service. We will print your return address, your recipient address. We will put no ugly red postage meter. We actually put a real stamp on it, and we will send those out for you, and it's an entirely free service. And our goal is to make that as painless as possible. And so what you do is you create you enter your addresses, or you just give us your template. We'll import it for you, and literally in a few clicks, select all. We'll address them for you. You check out, and literally you can be done in minutes once you have your addresses in.
So I've actually experienced it as a recipient, and it's phenomenal. It looks like somebody actually took the time to do it themselves.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, it's
great
really
that you've had a chance to try it out.
I have. Thank you. So, Chris, from where you sit, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face in your business?
So, building an eco-friendly company is something that is extremely rewarding, but also extremely challenging. When you use 100% post-consumer recycled paper, by virtue of it not being consistent virgin fiber, you have inconsistencies that you have to work with. The paper has different characteristics that make it beautiful, but at the same time can make it challenging to use, right? So part of that is commitment to be eco-friendly is challenging, but it's also one of our greatest rewards. We found initially that we always wanted to be a modern design company from a brand perspective, but we were not always actually an eco-friendly company from a brand perspective. And so that has evolved in the sense that after about our first 6 months in the market, we had always used 100% responsible recycled paper. We'd always offset our carbon footprint, but we never really marketed it. It was buried in the About Us section.
Right.
And what we heard when we first spoke to the customers is, we came to you because of that, right? We want to hear more about that. Tell us that story. And that actually became a huge eye-opening experience for us. And basically since then, it has become a core part not only of our internal DNA, which it always was, but part of our external DNA as well.
So you have a really innovative program that you're doing right now around that. Would you mind talking about that?
Sure. We have a program called Cards to Trees. And as part of that, we plant a tree in a U.S. forest for every order that's placed. But that was a program that we launched about a year ago. But now we've really expanded that program, and we've found a way to engage people in the conversation, because we feel like, look, to offer and sell an eco-friendly product, that's fine and dandy, but really we'd love to leave a more lasting impression of what it means to actually buy eco-friendly. And so what we've tried to do is engage our community in a conversation. And what we do is we just launched a program where not only do we plant a tree for you, but you can dedicate a tree. And so when you purchase, you're given the option to dedicate your tree to someone, to write them a quick message, and then we create a page for you. And that page is something that you can link to and you can send to your friends to, and they can actually have a conversation about it. And if you have a chance, I really encourage you to go to our homepage, you'll find that link, and just read some of the comments and the dedications. It's inspiring, right? And it actually brought several of the people in our office to tears. And if I weren't trying to be a manly man, I too might have been brought to. It's just incredibly moving what people dedicated to and how much inherent appreciation they have for what trees do. And I think as a paper company, both for us as well as for Mohawk, trees are our business, right? And the great things that they do, it's something to celebrate, and it's our little way of celebrating and giving something back and adding to the conversation on a day-to-day basis.
That is really, really nice. It is. It's really,
Thank you.
really nice. Yeah. Tell me, with all of the enthusiasm out there around tablets and apps and all of that kind of stuff, what do you think is the future of printed articles?
It's interesting. I think there's an inherent bias when I walk around the show, especially at the National Stationery Show, right? Which is the power of the written word, and to get that handwritten card back to you is so much more meaningful, especially in this day of e-cards and everything like that. In part, I agree with you, right? That is our business, right? To appreciate the physical product. But I actually don't think we agree inherently with what I think is the prevailing sentiment here, which is as you get all the new digital distribution mechanisms, our view is the future of the business is what combines the two, right? And says, look, I don't think there are certain things that digital is incredibly good at, right? So for the simple aspect, to be able to create and preview your design is for a company like us, where we have hundreds of designs online, and people want to try out different forms. That's not something that you can do in a traditional environment, right? And so to give that power of the digital creation and experimentation and that instant feedback, that's now something that, quite frankly, as innovative, that's just demanded by the customers. And I think what's new is how we take something like an Evite or online invitation companies and like that. And many of the people here will say, hey, that's like the evil empire, right? You don't, we're about printing, we're not about online. Our view is there's certain aspects that there are occasions that are probably better off in a digital environment. Hey, if you're going to just have a dinner gathering and you want to invite 10 people, most people aren't going to go through the problem of printing out a physical card. It's just not the room for that. But when you want wedding, let's say, or you want birth announcements, and you want to really engage people in a conversation, I think what you'll see is we're going to try to bring the conversation that digital enables to the physical printed product. And so we haven't made those announcements as to what those products are yet, but I think the ultimate product, whether it's from us or from someone else, will be that combines the conversational and the instant communication vehicle of digital with the impact of the physical product.
I can't wait to see it. Can we have an exclusive?
We'll definitely tell you when we're launching it.
Okay. So one question that I've always wondered about, well, actually, let me ask a question about the business overall. Within 2 years, you've attracted a loyal following, you're out there, people are familiar with you. Tell us about what kind, and that's just me as an outsider looking in, tell me about what kind of real sales growth you've actually achieved at Paperculture.
So, we don't break out our particular sales numbers, but we've had an incredible response, I think, from, you never know when you're trying to build a direct consumer brand. And just a few indications that are public. So we have a Facebook fan page. It's really a burgeoning community for us. I think at last check we had over 50,000 Facebook fans. But what to me is even more encouraging about that is you see the engagement level, because you see a lot of people that have just acquired a lot of fans. Ours has been very organic, and our customers, they have a certain passion about it. And I think that's the most surprising and the most rewarding part for us, is that we don't really view ourselves as a mission-based company, but our customers often do view us as a mission-based company. And therefore, what we discovered in the Cards to Trees program, as an example, where we plant a tree with every order, is that it doesn't actually, almost nobody buys the cards because we plant a tree. But what they do is they have a conversation about it afterwards because we plant a tree. And so when we think about building a community, what has helped us most in building our customer base is that our customers become our marketers, because they're so proud and excited about the product, both because of the physical impact of the product after they receive it, but even the anticipation and that interaction that they have with the brand, right? And so whether it's Facebook or Twitter or our blog or simply our various customer communications that we do directly, all of that is to engage people, because we're incredibly lucky. I mean, most of the people here at the stationery show are incredibly lucky in that we are a part of people's incredible life events, right? And that's something that people are, the emotion and the excitement around that, that's something we want to capture, right? And so our media channels, our communication channels are ways that we can capture that excitement, that we can enable people to share that in different ways, whether it's in physical form or digital form, and to revel in it, right? Because, look, there's so much stress in the world these days that when you have an incredibly exciting moment, you want to cherish every bit of that. And if we can be just a small part of enhancing that, then we've really done our jobs.
Great. I actually had an experience recently where a friend gave me a call and said, I need a source for a great, invitation. I don't have much time. I can't find anything online. Do you have any ideas for me? And I sent them to you. And I got a call back about a week later with the now customer actually raving about the experience. So it seems to me, and I don't know if you want to comment on this, about customers then becoming evangelists. I mean, this woman is ready to tell 100 of her best friends about you.
Well, I don't know any person in my seat who their dream isn't to have customers that cannot stop talking about their product. And certainly that is a goal that we have always set out for ourselves. I think we've been overwhelmed by the passion of the response. But I think that's also partly a testament not just to our product or execution, but It's the life events themselves. It's the type of people that our product appeals to.
Yes.
It's totally in a distracting environment. But this is off topic. But if you think about the classic, the Avon lady, right? Who went door to door. The target market for them were the moms and the people who sort of manage the household, which are also largely, we're 25 to 45 women, moms with kids, those are our core demographic. And those are the most passionate social sellers, right? And those are the people that love to talk about the products that they buy, the things that they do. And so we're lucky. We're lucky in that our customers are inherently prone to do that. And we're fortunate in that from an execution perspective, we have to deliver the product that people want to talk about. And we've been fortunate in that sense that they have very much done that. And that has driven our growth over the last couple of years.
So one thing that you did initially, at least that I read about, that I thought was fascinating, was that you had product placed in the Oscar bags. Is that right? Or no, the Tony Awards. So tell me, what did you put in those bags?
So this was every company has to be lucky as well as good, and sometimes it's about the people you know and not necessarily what you do. And literally, we had not launched our product. This was in 2009, and our product had never actually seen the light of day. We had sent a few samples out to some of our friends and family and a couple of key influencers, really to get some market feedback. Someone got a hold of that product that said, I have to have these, and I am responsible for putting together the Tony Award bags. And usually, this is the mercenary world. It's usually a paid placement type thing. And as a startup, we had no money for that. I said, look, we don't have any money. We can't do it. They said, no, I want your product. You'll get in. Just give it to us, right? And we want that. So we scrambled. This was literally our first large print run. We had not actually sold the product to the customer yet. We were about to launch our website, and we launched our website at the same day that we distributed these, and that was actually how we launched our company, was at the Tony Award, where we provided samples of the product and little gift cards that people could use to buy any product they wanted on our site. And that was the beginning of Paper Culture.